The March 26, 2019 meeting of the Ways and Means Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Ansello. Here. Mr. Baroth. Here. Mrs. Conley. Here. Chairman Delahaney.
Here.
Mrs. Draw is excused. Mr. Felder. Here. Ms. Cayley. Here. Mr. Mafucci. Here. Mr. Marinetti. Here. Mr. Morelli. Here. Mr. Rocco. Here. President Carbone.
Here. Okay. Will President Carbone please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Are there any speakers signed up for public forum?
There is not.
Okay. Is there anyone here who would like to address the committee at this time? Okay. The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. You have the minutes from the February 26, 2019 meeting before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. The next item on the agenda is new business. Clerk.
Referral 19-0070.
Moved by Legislator Connolly, seconded by President Carbone. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Next item.
Referral 19-0071.
Moved by President Carbone, seconded by Legislator Rockow. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 19-0072.
Moved by Legislator Rockow, seconded by Legislator Ansello. Is there any discussion? Okay. Legislator Morelli.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to the administration, I understand that that the main purpose of this piece is to just extend our current agreement with the zoo, but it does seem like we're making some changes in the agreement, including allowing the county executive to add an additional member to the zoo board, as well as changing some of the internal documents as to how the zoo's point of sale system is reviewed by county officials. Can we just get a little bit of an explanation through you, Mr. Chairman, as to why these changes are being recommended?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, Larry Staub, Director of Monroe County Parks and Seneca Park Zoo. In April of last year, Zoo Director Larry Sorrell retired, and the county executive appointed me to fill that position, as well as my position as Director of Parks. Under the current agreement with the zoo society, the county has two representatives that are full-fledged board members on the society's board of trustees, and they're enumerated as the Director of Parks and the Director of Seneca Park Zoo. So we've always had two representatives. With me being in the dual capacity, we've been down to one representative for the last year, so this rectifies that. And the society concurs with this and will be making that change to their bylaws as well. Do you want me to go on to the next one, or you want to?
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. Yeah, if you could just go on to my next question, in particular as it relates to the point of sale system.
Yeah, so the society, at our behest, developed a point of sale system, working with a vendor, and it's a pretty robust system, gives a lot of data on daily sales, from admissions to gift shop to concessions, and gives real-time data that's very helpful in monitoring the performance of not only sales but admissions, and we felt that the county would benefit from that as well, and also benefit from an added level of monitoring their compliance with providing accurate data when they provide us with our cut of the sales. So with that in mind, we agreed to put that in. Society doesn't have any problem with that, obviously. And we had experience with this from working with the golf courses with a point-of-sale system similar to this, where we were able to go in at any time and see how many people are out playing golf, how many people bought hot dogs, how many people are out on carts. So it allows us to better monitor the performance of the vendor.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Legislator Brough.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just one brief follow-up question. Through you to the administration, who is the society's vendor for this point-of-sale system?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I don't have that answer off the top of my head. I could get it for you.
Well, my main curiosity is, do we use this vendor for any other, any other entities we work with through the chair?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I believe it's a specialized system, and it's it's a vendor that specializes in point of sale, so I would doubt it.
Okay. Well, if you get me the
sure.
name, thank you very much.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 19-0073.
Moved by legislator Ansello, seconded by legislator Marionetti. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 19-0074.
Moved by legislator Marionetti, seconded by legislator Connolly. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 19-0075.
Moved by legislator Connolly, seconded by President Carbone. Is there any discussion? Legislator Baroth.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you to the administration, I know that we do the accident location program on a regular basis, and my question is, how much do we typically budget on an annual basis to do this program, through the chair?
Through the chair, the annual budget ranges from $30,000 to $40,000 a year normally.
Thank you. Then my follow-up question through the chairs, is this range dependent upon grants received, or is it independent of grants received from the state?
Through the chair, it's independent of grants received. It depends on the productivity we have. If we have vacancies, sometimes we don't spend all the money, which was the case last year.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Legislator Mafucci.
Thank you. Through the chair to the administration, do we have any data on areas that are particularly accident-prone?
Through the chair, yes, we do. We keep track of the overall accident statistics or accident rates and compare them to a statistical expectation for that kind of facility. So, for example, a traffic light intersection would be compared to another traffic light intersection and so forth. With that all weighed, we get to find the statistical outliers that appear to have well over the expected average number of accidents, and that's where we put our focus.
Thank you. One follow-up question. Through the chair to the administration, is there one particular area that's the most dangerous in Monroe County?
Through the chair, I would say that that varies year to year. We do change the locations based on updated data each time, and I cannot think of a location that repeatedly comes up as the same location. We tend to treat the ones that are worst, hopefully it gets better, and then over time another one may come up. It's a pretty complex answer. I'm sorry to...
I think that's fine. I was just
Thank
kind
you,
of
sir.
curious.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
very much.
Thank you.
I just noticed, just a follow-up statement to the chair to the administration, that we have lots of people who run red lights. It's kind of amazing, actually. So
Through
I
the
know
chair,
there's
I
nothing you
agree.
can do about that, but it is, I've been noticing that a lot lately. Got to be very careful at those intersections. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Oh. Legislator Cayley.
I figured out what the problem is, Mr. Chairman. It's because I'm in the second row, and you're used to just looking on
That's
the first
right.
row,
I
and
know.
that's it.
That's
So
right.
I am just going to continue to
All
do
right,
this.
that's good. I appreciate
So that I don't
that.
get missed. This may have been asked, but I don't think it was, through you to the administration. This particular grant this year is 3 times the size of last year. Can you explain that?
Through the chair, and by the way, I'm Jim Pond from Monroe County DOT. I apologize, I should have introduced myself at the beginning. So through the chair, yes, the normal grant we've been getting long-term has been between $30,000 and $40,000 a year. Last year, we found ourselves with excess money because we've been spending it slower, part to a staff vacancy and other workload factors. So we stepped back for 1 year and took a smaller grant and spent the past funding first. When that was exhausted, we went on to the next part, which is just $10,000. At this point, we're almost out of money, so we're going to ask for the normal amount again, which is between $30,000 and $40,000, depending on just exactly what balance we have left over.
All right, thank you. And then through the chair, thanks, Bill. I'm Cindy in the second row.
Legislator, I'll make sure I keep an eye out for the second round. All right. Is there any further discussion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 19-0076.
Moved by President Carbone, seconded by Legislator Rockow. Is there any discussion? Okay. Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 19-0077.
Moved by Legislator Rockow, seconded by Legislator Ansello. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 19-0078.
Moved by Legislator Ansello, seconded by Legislator Marianetti. Legislator Marianetti.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you, I just wanted to reiterate a request I believe that was made at the Human Services Committee. And through you, Mr. Chair, I'd just like to request also a copy of the new fee structure.
Okay.
Through the chair, as indicated in the previous committee, we were intending to include that in our normal packet of information we provide based on legislative inquiries.
Thank you.
Great. Legislator Morelli.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do have, first of all, I'd like to thank the administration for their response to the letter sent by Mr. Mafucci, Dr. Mafucci, in terms of some questions that he had in regards to this program. And through you, Mr. Chairman, at a roundtable that I recently hosted in Irondequoit, which you opted not to attend, we did have an opportunity to speak with early intervention advocates, and I know that they are extremely pleased at the increase that the county is moving forward with. But through you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration, I would like to ask the 600 to 800,000 estimate that is referenced in the letter. Can you explain how that figure was how you came up with those figures?
Mr. Chairman, the rough estimate of $600,000 to $800,000 increase in expenditures was basically derived through work between Department of Public Health and Department of Finance in evaluating using calendar year 2017 as a base, counting the hours of service provided for the multitude of related services for which are reimbursed, multiplied by a mathematical 15% rate increase. That led to a significant increase. However, that was partially mitigated by the introduction of group rates, which come at a slightly less reimbursement from an individual rate. Combining the two and then trying to make educated guesses on proportions of children served in an individual setting versus a group setting, came out with those respective ranges, $600,000 to $800,000.
Thank you. And through you, Mr. Chairman, we've heard a lot from advocates over the past several months talking about how the rate has really caused some service providers to back away. So do we think that based on the increase in the rate that we'll see new service providers coming on and therefore more students receiving these services, and so therefore perhaps what we did in 2017 may no longer be accurate?
Through the chair, let me see if I can answer this question succinctly. The number of providers in pre-K special ed there hasn't been as dramatic a reduction in those who are willing to serve the population as there was in EI. While the rate increase we anticipate based on conversations that the county has had with providers would bring some of those providers perhaps back, or new providers would come into the program, I think its greatest effect immediately will be to stabilize the number of providers that are currently providing those services, and with the hope that it will in fact increase the number of providers. But that's also dependent to a certain degree on the number of children that are required to be served under it. And it's only essentially a one-year snapshot before they enter the school district setting and would be provided services there after perhaps being provided services through EI. We have them for about a year. It's a function of numbers to a certain degree.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Legislator Mafucci.
Thank you. Through the chair to the administration, I'd also like to thank you for the very timely response for the questions that I asked. For 2016 and 2017, we expensed, or we budgeted, over $37 million, and I'm wondering if we expensed all those dollars in those years.
Mr. Chairman, in the response to the legislator's inquiry, we provided a history of the actual expenditures incurred. We did not provide budgeted figures, but if I may respond with an off-the-cuff answer, I'm confident the county overall was underspent in these services.
Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Okay. Seeing none, all those in favor? Oh, I'm sorry. Legislator Barra.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair, the administration, in the referral, it notes that for attachment A, the total amount is not to exceed $25.7 million. Is that the same amount as last year, or is that different from last year's? The one that's ending in 2018?
Through the chair, I believe that's the exact same amount.
Thought so. Okay, thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Okay. Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 19-0079.
Moved by Legislator Marinetti, seconded by Legislator Connolly. Is there any discussion? All Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 19-0080.
Moved by Legislator Connolly, seconded by President Carbone. Is there any discussion? Legislator Barat.
Thank you. Through you to the administration, there's a phrase, two phrases in here that I'd like some clarification on. In the second paragraph, it says, by enforcing computer policies via software tools and providing internal network traffic flow identification, we're going to do things. What do those two phrases mean? What is it that exactly by enforcing what computer policies via software tools? Through the chair, if I could have some explanation for that.
Through the chair, could you repeat the question, please?
Sure. Through the chair, there's a phrase that says, by enforcing, quote, by enforcing computer policies via software tools, so the enforcement of policies via software, and providing internal network traffic flow identification, which presumably means tracking users' use of the system. We're going to do things. We're going to provide better protection for the system. What does it practically mean when we're going to provide internal network traffic flow identification and enforcing computer policies via software tools? What does that mean practically for any given county employee? Through the chair.
Through the chair, I apologize for not introducing myself. I'm Justin Moore with Monroe County Information Services. It gives us the analytics and the ability to make sure people are surfing the internet safely and securely from a simplified perspective.
Okay, so through the chair of the administration, essentially the software tool will allow IT or whoever to track who's going where?
Through the chair, yes, that's correct.
Okay, and that makes sense. And then finally, through the chair of the administration, which county staff are going to be included in the training for this?
Through the chair, we're going to include our cybersecurity team for this training.
Mm-hmm. And just them, through the chair?
Through the chair, that's correct.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? Legislator Connolly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through the chair to the administration, do we contract out for any of these cybersecurity services?
Through the chair, this wouldn't be contracted work in the sense of a consultant coming in and actually doing the work. We would buy the product, and then we would be trained to install and configure it and support it.
Okay. Legislator Cayley.
Thank you. I was waiting. I wasn't sure that Legislator Connolly was finished. If you would, through the administration, no, through the chairman to the administration. So understanding this is strictly controlling or monitoring where employees are going on the internet. Is that correct? If I'm getting right down to brass tacks?
Through the chair, yes, that's correct.
Thank you. And then through the chairman to the administration, are there already sites that are either monitored or a person would be unable to access through a county conduit?
Through the chair, we have a product currently that does web content filtering and blocks things to like BitTorrenting and malicious sites and things of that nature. This product will take it a step further.
Thank you. And then will that be the same through the chair to the administration? Will that content filtering be the same for all PCs, laptops that use the county's internet?
Through the chair, the product will serve the entire counties, all computers, laptops, tablets, but there will be different policies based by department and business need.
Thank you. And then, I venture to say this, does this all, through the chair, does this also track, let's say, best example I could use, Eastman Kodak had a tracking system through email that certain keywords would be targets or triggers for a look at. Are we talking about the same type of system being included here?
Through the chair, the product is really more so if somebody embeds a link into an email and they try to browse to a malicious website, and it will stop that from happening.
Thank you, but then, I understand that, but then let me ask farther then. Does the county already, through the chair, have keywords, I would say, using email that may go outside the county to another email recipient, or vice versa?
Through the chair, we do have a data loss prevention software that handles that, that basically scans the email and looks for any PII type information, make sure none of that leaks out without being encrypted.
All right, thank you. And then one last question. Through the chair to the administration, will basically county employees be apprised of these changes since you're only training your IT cybersecurity staff? Will county employees be apprised of a new program being installed?
Through the chair, we regularly work with our departments and end users to conduct cybersecurity training and proactive phishing campaigns. So in terms of actually meeting with the departments, we would probably meet with the departmental liaisons to review these policies before we implement them.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? Okay. Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 19-0081.
Moved by President Carbone, seconded by Legislator Rockow. Is there any discussion? Legislator Brock.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you to the administration, were all the property owners willing to allow the county to acquire property interests?
Through the chair, all of the easements have not been agreed to. We're still negotiating with one of the property owners.
Thank you. Do we anticipate, through the chair, that by the full-fledged meeting that we'll have some sort of resolution to that negotiation?
We always hope that we will, but until we have the signed agreement, we won't know.
Fair enough. Then we'll follow up at the full-fledged. Thanks.
Yep.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 19-0086.
Moved by Legislator Rockow, seconded by Legislator Ansello. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Are there any other matters to come before this committee? Legislator Felder.
Mr. Chairman, through the administration, when the budget came up in December, there was a question I had about the Monroe Community and Hospital budget. Based on the email I received, it said that the net county support was going down to $450,000, and yet we voted for a budget for the hospital of $2.5 million. And I'm requesting an answer as to what happened with that. Is that correct? Has there been a reduction, and is the administration going to come back to us to amend the budget to move that money elsewhere? Doesn't have to be answered tonight, but I'd like to have an answer to that question because I still don't You know, I was going to ask at the hospital board meeting, but we haven't had one yet this year, so.
Okay. Okay.
Through the chair, we'll look into the matter and provide a written response.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anything else? Okay, there being no other matters, the March 26, 2019 meeting of the Ways and Means Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Ways and Means Committee will be held on Tuesday, April 23rd, 2019 at 6 p.m.